A brief video clip featuring French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte Macron, rapidly gained international attention. The footage emerged on May 25, 2025. It appeared to capture a tense moment between the couple. This occurred just as they were beginning an official state visit. The incident took place on the tarmac in Hanoi, Vietnam. The video quickly spread across various social media platforms. It sparked a flurry of speculation and commentary worldwide. Many viewers interpreted the interaction as a sign of discord. The video's virality was almost instantaneous. It showed the French president and first lady at a seemingly private moment. This moment was, however, captured on camera. The setting was the arrival for a significant diplomatic tour. This tour was intended to strengthen France's ties in Southeast Asia. Instead, the initial focus shifted to this personal interaction. The power of moving images in the digital age was once again demonstrated. A few seconds of footage overshadowed the broader diplomatic context. This highlighted the challenges public figures face under constant scrutiny. The incident immediately raised questions about the relationship between the president and his wife. Public figures often have their private lives examined. This instance was no different. The French president would soon need to address the growing speculation. The video in question was captured by an Associated Press camera operator. The footage was filmed as President Macron and his wife Brigitte prepared to disembark their aircraft. This was upon their arrival in Hanoi, Vietnam, on May 25, 2025. President Macron is seen appearing in the doorway of the plane. He seems ready to greet those awaiting his arrival. Suddenly, a hand, later identified as Brigitte Macron's, enters the frame. The hand appears to make contact with President Macron's face. Some descriptions characterize this as a push or a shove. This action caused the president to momentarily step back. He appeared surprised, but quickly regained his composure. He then proceeded to wave to the assembled welcome party. Shortly after this interaction, Brigitte Macron, wearing a distinctive red jacket, appeared in the doorway. The couple then descended the plane staircase together. They presented a united front to the officials and media gathered below. The brevity of the clip, lasting only a few seconds, contributed to its ambiguous nature. President Emmanuel Macron addressed the viral video and the ensuing speculation on May 26, 2025. He spoke during an interview on France's BFM TV television channel. Macron firmly denied any altercation with his wife Brigitte. He sought to downplay the incident significantly. He described the interaction as nothing more than bickering and joking. This explanation aimed to reframe the moment as a light-hearted exchange. He suggested it was typical of any couple. He dismissed the more serious interpretations as unfounded. Macron specifically refuted the notion that the video depicted a domestic scene. He labeled the widespread speculation and intense discussion surrounding the clip as nonsense. He expressed a degree of frustration with the focus on such a minor event. He stated, "We are bickering and joking with my wife, and a video becomes a sort of geoplanetary catastrophe." This quote highlights his view that the incident was blown out of proportion. He implied that there are far more important global issues deserving attention. The president's statement was a clear attempt to control the narrative. He aimed to shift it away from conflict towards playful intimacy. By using words like bickering and joking, he normalized the interaction. The video of Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron quickly became more than just a viral curiosity. It was actively promoted by specific actors. These included Russian state media outlets and French far-right accounts on social media. These groups framed the footage as evidence of an altercation or a serious quarrel. Their narrative suggested marital strife at the highest level of the French state. This interpretation directly contradicted President Macron's later explanation. It served to sow doubt and potentially embarrass the French leader on the international stage. President Macron himself highlighted this aspect when he addressed the incident. He emphasized that the video was taken out of context. He stated it was deliberately used to spread disinformation. This accusation points to a coordinated effort. The goal was to manipulate public perception. Russian state media has often been accused of such tactics. They aim to destabilize Western governments and leaders. Similarly, far-right groups in France frequently oppose Macron. They would seize any opportunity to portray him negatively. The video provided a convenient visual tool for these purposes. The speed and coordination with which these narratives spread are characteristic of disinformation campaigns. Algorithms on social media platforms can amplify sensational content. Section 5. Beyond the clip, Macron's diplomatic mission in Southeast Asia. The viral video incident occurred at the outset of a significant diplomatic tour for President Macron. This tour encompassed several key nations in Southeast Asia. Besides Vietnam, his itinerary included stops in Indonesia and Singapore. The overarching goal of this multi-nation visit was to bolster France's presence and influence in the region. Southeast Asia is an area of growing economic and strategic importance. France, like other major powers, is keen to strengthen its partnerships there. The tour was planned long before the video became a talking point. The objectives of the tour were multifaceted. They included enhancing diplomatic ties with each host nation. Economic cooperation was also a major focus. Discussions were expected on trade agreements, investments, and joint ventures. Cultural exchange and educational partnerships were also on the agenda. France has historical links with some countries in the region, including Vietnam. Macron's visit aimed to build on these historical foundations. He also sought to forge new avenues for collaboration in areas like technology and sustainable development. This was a forward-looking diplomatic effort. The strategic significance of Southeast Asia cannot be overstated. The region is a hub for global trade routes. Section 6. Strengthening ties. The Vietnam visit in focus. Macron's visit to Vietnam aimed to reinforce diplomatic and economic ties. France and Vietnam share deep historical connections. The visit focused on trade, infrastructure, and renewable energy. Strengthening ties with Vietnam helps France engage with ASEAN. And Section 7. Echoes in the media, reactions and speculation. The video of the Macrons on the plane steps ignited a swift and widespread reaction across media platforms. News outlets globally reported on the incident. Many highlighted the ambiguous nature of the interaction. Social media, in particular, became a hotbed of discussion and speculation. Hashtags related to Macron and the video trended in several countries. Users shared the clip extensively, often accompanied by their own interpretations. These ranged from amusement to concern, and often political commentary. The visual was powerful and easily shareable. Many initial media reports focused on the apparent shove. They questioned the state of the presidential couple's relationship. Tabloid media, in particular, leaned into the more sensational interpretations. They suggested a public display of marital discord. Even more mainstream outlets found the footage newsworthy. This was due to the high profile of the individuals involved. The timing, at the start of an important diplomatic mission, added to the intrigue. The lack of immediate official comment allowed speculation to flourish for several hours. This created a vacuum that was quickly filled by public opinion. Section 8. A pattern of deception. Previous misleading videos. In his response to the viral tarmac video, President Macron did not just address the single incident in isolation. He contextualized it as part of a broader pattern of misleading information targeting him. He specifically mentioned other instances where videos or images were allegedly manipulated or taken out of context to create a false narrative. This suggests a recurring problem for the French president. It points to sustained efforts by certain actors to undermine his credibility and public image through deceptive visual content. These efforts appear to be ongoing. One example Macron cited involved a video that purportedly showed him sharing a bag of cocaine. Such an accusation is extremely serious. It is clearly designed to damage his reputation severely. Another instance he referenced involved a video implying a confrontation with the Turkish president. These examples illustrate the range of tactics used. They also show the potential for deep fake technology or clever editing to create highly damaging yet false impressions. These are not minor pranks. They are serious attempts at character assassination and political destabilization. Section 9. The perils of misinformation. Context in the digital age. The incident involving President Macron in Hanoi illustrates the impact of misinformation. It highlights the importance of context in consuming media reports. A few seconds of video, removed from context, can be misinterpreted. It can also be twisted to fit a narrative. A joking moment was portrayed as a serious altercation. This shows the vulnerability of truth in viral content. The rapid spread of misinformation across social media and news outlets. Once an interpretation gains traction, it's hard to correct, even with official explanations. Sensational stories often outweigh mundane reality. This dynamic is exploited to spread disinformation. The The Macron video was used by Russian media and far-right accounts. This underscores the geopolitical dimensions of information warfare. Media and consumers have a responsibility. Media must verify information and provide context. Rushing to publish viral content can spread misinformation. Consumers should approach sensational claims with skepticism, seek multiple sources, and consider biases.